Hello, friends, and welcome to this, the third and final installment of Fanterpiece Theatre. I am your host, Sir Herbert Featherbottom. Mr. Elijah Tepplepot has yet again not made it into today's recording. I sent him several messages on his Twitter account, @eTepple, but he has not been answering me. So today, sitting in, is Mr. Danny Doorknob.
Will I be getting paid for this?
We will see after the recording, sir.
Excellent, excellent.
So, we continue today with reading My Immortal by Tara Gillespie, Chapter 10. Author's note: Stup it, you gay fags. If you donut like my story, then fuck off. P.S. It turns out Bloody Mary isn't a muggle after all, and she's a vampire. Are evil, that's why they moved houses, okay? I was really scared about Voldemort all day. I was even upset. Went to rehearsals with my gothic metal band Bloody Gothic Rose 666. I am the lead singer of it, and I play guitar. People say that we sound like a cross between Good Charlotte, Slipknot, and My Chemical Romance. The other people in the band are Bloody Mary, Vampire, Draco, Ron, although we call him Diabolo now. He has black hair now with blue streaks in it. And Hagrid. Only today Draco and Vampire were depressed, so they weren't coming, and we wrote songs instead. I knew Draco was probably slitting his wrists. He wouldn't die because he was a vampire too, and the only way you can kill a vampire is with a CROSS. There's no way I'm writing that. Or a stake. And Vampire was probably watching a depressing movie like The Corpse Bride. I put on a black leather shirt that showed off my boobs, and tiny matching miniskirt that said Simple Plan on the butt. You might think I'm a slut, but I'm really not. We were singing a cover of Helena. At the end of the song, I suddenly bust into tears.
Ebony, are you okay?
Bloody Mary asked in a concerted voice. What the fuck do you think? I asked angrily, and then I said, well, Voldemort came and the fucking bastard told me to fucking kill Harry, but I don't want to kill him because he's really nice, even if he did go out with Draco. But if I don't kill Harry, then Voldemort will fucking kill Draco. I burst into tears. Suddenly, Draco jumped out from behind a wall.
Why didn't you fucking tell me?
He shouted.
How could you fucking poser muggle bitch?
See, is that out of character? I started to cry and cry. Draco started to cry too, all sensitive. Then he ran out crying. We practiced for one more hour, and suddenly Dumbledore walked in angrily. His eyes were all fiery, and I knew this time it wasn't 'cause he had a headache.
What have you done?
He started to cry wisely. See, that's because not swearing, and this time he was really upset, and you will see why.
Ebony, Draco has been found in his room. He committed suicide by slitting his wrists.
Chapter 11. Author's note: I said stop flamming up preps. See if this chapter is Srupid 1111. It deals with really serious issues. For yourself, if it's stupid thanks to my friend Raven for helping me. No! I screamed. I was horrified. Bloody Mary tried to comfort me, but I told her to fuck off, and I ran to my room crying myself. Dumbledore chased after me, shouting, but he had to stop when I went into my room, 'cause he would look like a perv that way. Anyway, I started crying tears of blood, and then I slit both of my wrists. They got all over my clothes, so I took them off and jumped into the bath angrily while I put on a Linkin Park song at full volume. I grabbed a stake and almost stuck it into my heart to commit suicide. I was so fucking depressed. I got out of the bathtub and put on a black low-cut dress with lace all over it sandly. I put on black high heels with pink metal stuff on the ends and 6 pairs of skull earrings. I couldn't fucking believe it. Then I looked out the window and screamed. Snap was spying on me, and he was taking a videotape of me. And Lupin was masticating to it. They were sitting on their broomsticks. "Ew, you fucking pervs! Stop looking at me naked! Are you pedos or what?" I screamed, putting on a black towel with a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. Suddenly, Vampire ran in.
"Abracadabra!"
he yelled at Snape and Lupin, pointing his womb. I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times, and they both started screaming and the camera broke. Suddenly, Dumbledore ran in.
Ebony, it has been revealed that someone has... No!
He shouted, looking at Snape and Lupin, and then he waved his wand, and suddenly... Hagrid ran outside on his broom and said, "Everyone, we need to talk." "What do you know, Hagrid? You're just a little Hogwarts student."
I may be a Hogwarts student,
Hagrid paused angrily.
but I am also a Satanist. This cannot be.
Snap said in a crisp voice as blood dripped from his hand where Dumbledore's wand had shot him.
There must be other factors.
"You don't have any!" I yelled in madly. Lupin held up the camera triumphantly.
The lens may be ruined, but the tape is still there.
I felt faint, more than I normally do, like how it feels when you do not drink enough blood.
Why are you doing this?
Lupin said angrily while he rubbed his dirty hands on his cloak. And then I heard words that I had heard before, but not from him. I did not know whether to feel shocked and happy, or to bite him and drink his blood because I felt faint.
Because...
Hagrid said, and he paused in the air dramatically, waving his wand in the air. Then swooped he in, singing to the tune of a Gothic version of a song by 50 Cent.
Because you're Gothic?
Snap asked in a little afraid voice, 'cause he was afraid it meant he was connected with Satan.
Because I love her.
Chapter 12. Author's note. Stop f***ing, okay? Hagrid is a pedo too. A lot of people in American schools are like that. I wanted to address the issue. How do you know, Snape? Eont Christian plus Hagrid isn't really in love with Ebony. That was Cedric, okay? I was about to slit my wrists again with the silver knife that Draco had given me in case anything happened to him. He told me to use it valiantly against an enemy, but I knew that we must both go together.
No.
I thought it was Hagrid, but it was Vampire. He started to scream.
OMFG, no. My scar hurts.
And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. I stopped. How did you know?
I saw it, and my scar turned it back into the lightning bolt.
No! I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted.
I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation,
he said back.
Anyway, my scar hurt, and it turned back into the lightning bolt. Save me! Then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort had him bondage.
Anyway, I was in the school nurse's office now, recovering from my slit wrists. Snap and Lupin and Hagrid were there too. They were going to St. Mango's after they recovered because they were pedophiles, and you can't have those fucking pervs teaching in a school with lots of hot girls. Dumbledore had constipated the Sideo camera they took of me naked. I put up my middle finger at them. Anyway, Hagrid came into my hospital bed holding a bouquet of pink roses.
Annabee, I need to tell you something,
he said in a serious voice, giving me the roses. Fuck off, I told him. You know I fucking hate the color pink anyway, and I don't like fucked up preps like you, I snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before for being Gothic.
No, Ebony.
Hagrid says.
Those are not roses.
What? Are they goths too, you poser prep? I asked, because I was angry that he had brought me pink roses.
I saved your life,
he yelled angrily. No, you didn't, I replied. You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton P video made from your shower scene and being viewed by Snap and Lupin.
Who masturbated.
See, is that spelled wrong?
To it.
He added silently. Whatever, I yelled angrily. He pointed his wand at the pink roses.
These aren't roses.
He suddenly looked at them and with an evil look in his eye and muttered,
Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say.
That's not a spell, that's an MCR song, I corrected him wisely.
I know, I was just warming up my vocal cords.
Then he screamed,
Petulus merengo mi cremically romacio.
For all you cool gothic MCR fans out there, that is a tribute, specially for Raven. I love you, girl.
Imo noto okeo.
And then the roses turned into a huge black flame floating in the middle of the air, and it was black. Now I knew he wasn't a prep. Okay, I believe you now. Where the fuck is Draco? Hairgrid rolled his eyes. I looked into the balls of flame, but I could see nothing.
You see, enemy,
Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame.
To see what is in the flames.
Ha ha ha, you reviewers flames get it?
You must find yourself first, Kay. I have found myself, okay, you mean old man?
Hagrid yelled. Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache or else he would have said something back. Hagrid stormed off back into his bed.
You are a liar, Professor Dumbledore.
Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and put on a black leather mini-dress that was all ripped on the ends with lace on it. There was some corset stuff on the front. Then I put on black fishnets and black high-heeled boots with pictures of Billy Joe Armstrong on them. I put my hair all out around me so I looked like Samara from The Ring. If you don't know who she is, you're a prep, so fuck off. I put on blood-red lipstick, black eyeliner, and black lip gloss.
You look kawaii, girl,
Bloody Mary said sadly. Fangs, get it. You do too, I said sadly too. But I was still upset. I slit both of my wrists, feeling totally depressed, and sucked all the blood. I cried again in my bathroom and put the shades on so Snap and Lupin couldn't spy on me this time. I went to some classes. Vampire was in the hair of magic creatures. He looked all depressed because Draco had disappeared, and he had used to be in love with Draco. He was sucking some blood from a Hufflepuff.
Hi,
He said in a depressed way. Hi, back, I said in an equally sad way. We both looked at each other for some time. Harry had beautiful red gothic eyes so much like Draco's. Then we jumped on each other and started screwing each other.
Stop it now, you horny simpletons!
Shouted Professor McGoggle, who was watching us, and so was everyone else. Vampire, you fucker, I said, slapping him. Stop trying to screw me. You know I love Draco. I shouted, and then I ran away angrily. Just then he started to scream,
OMFG, no, my scar hurts.
and then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. No! I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted.
I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation.
He said back.
Anyway, my scar hurt, and then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him bondage.
Special thanks to Raven, my gothic blood sister. What the fuck? You're supposed to write this 1111111111. Hey Raven, do you know where my sweater I? Chapter 13. Author's note. Raven, thanks for gulping me again. I'm sorry I took your poster of Gerard, but that guy is such a fucking sex bomb. Preps, stop flaming. Vampire and I ran up the stairs looking for Dumbledore. We were so scared. Dumbledore! Dumbledore! We both yelled. Dumbledore came there.
What is it that you want now, you despicable snobs?
He asked angrily. Voldemort has Draco! We shouted at the same time. He laughed in an evil voice. No, don't! We need to save Draco! We begged.
No,
he said meanly.
I don't give a darn what Voldemort does to Draco. Not after how much he misbehaved in school, especially with you, Ebony,
he said while he frowned, looking at me.
Besides, I never liked him that much anyway.
Then he walked away. Vampire started crying.
My Draco,
he moaned. Author's note, don't you fic gay guys are like so hot. It's okay, I tried to tell him, but that didn't stop him. He started to cry tears of blood. Then he had a brainstorm.
I had an idea,
he exclaimed. What? I asked him.
You'll see,
he said. He took out his wand and did a spell. Then, suddenly, we were in Voldemort's lair. We ran in with our wands out just as we heard a croon voice say,
Alakadabra.
It was Voldemort. Chapter 14. Author's note. Fuck off, preps, okay? Raven, thanks for helping again. I'm sorry I couldn't update, but I was depressed and I had to go to the hospital 'cause I slit my wrists. P.S. I'm not updating till you give me 10 God revoirs. Warning. Some of this chapter is extremely scray. Viewer excretion advised. We ran to where Voldemort was. It turned out that Voldemort wasn't there. Instead, the fat guy who killed Cedric was. Draco was there, crying tears of blood. Snaketail was torturing him. Vampire and I ran in front of Snaketail.
Rid my sight, you despicable preps,
he shouted as we started shooting him with the gun, and then he looked at me and fell down with a lovey-dovey look in his eyes.
Period,
he said. In this he is 16 years old, so he's not a pedophile, okay? Huh? I asked.
Enemy, I love you. Will you have sex with me?
Asked Snaketail. I started laughing crudely. What the fuck? You torture my BF and then you expect me to fuck you? God, you are so fucked up, you fucking bastard, I said angrily. Then I stabbed him in the heart. Blood poured out of it like a fountain.
No!
He screamed. He started screaming and running around. Then he fell down and died. I burst into tears sadly.
Snaketail, what art thou doing? Called
Voldemort. Then he started coming. We could hear his high heels clacking to us, so we got on our broomsticks and we flew to Hogwarts. We went to my room. Vampire went away. Then there I started crying.
What's wrong, honey? Asked
Draco, taking off his clothes so we could screw. He had a sex pack. Get it? 'Cause he's so sexy. And a really huge you-know-what and everything. It's so unfair, I yielded. Why can't I just be ugly or plain like all the other girls and preps here except for Bloody Mary, because she's not ugly or anything?
Why would you want to be ugly? I don't like the preps anyway. They're such fucking sluts, answered
Draco. Yeah, but everyone is in love with me. Like Snape and Lupin took a video of me naked, Hagrid says he's in love with me, Vampire likes me now, and even Snaketail's in love with me. I just want to be with you, okay, Draco? Why couldn't Satan have made me less beautiful? I shouted angrily. And don't worry, Ennaby isn't a snob or anything, but a lot of people have told her she's pretty. I'm good at too many things. Why can't I just be normal? It's a fucking curse, I shouted, and then I ran away. And that, friends, concludes today's installment of Fanterpiece Theatre. I'd like to thank my guest, Mr. Danny Doorknob.
Do I get paid now?
Join us next time, where we continue to read more of Terry Gillespie's My Immortal. And remember, friends, keep writing. Someday, someone is bound to read it.